Hi, I'm Bill Benson, and this is Porch Time with Bill Benson. And, you know, the summer is coming to a close. And, you know, the good news is I'm going to do a fall season of Porch Time with Bill Benson. And to this episode, I have a musician and guitar player, and Eddie Seville. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
My
Bill.
pleasure. My pleasure
to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be anywhere.
Yeah. And that guitar is just freaking awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I usually get, it's usually love it or hate it. It's usually why on earth did you do that to that guitar, or I love it.
Yeah, no, it's got your marks on it. So
thank you.
So Eddie, you are from Woodbury?
From that area, Middlebury, Connecticut.
Middlebury, okay. Middlebury, and so Eddie Seville and Steel Rodeo.
I do have a full band that I play with that I call Steel Rodeo.
Yep.
And which is always in transition, and most of the stuff I do is solo. But if I find a gig with a full band, then I'll bring the rodeo in. And
nice. Now, describe, if you can, your music, your genre, your whatever it is that you do.
Well, I really don't know where I would, what box I would put it in. It's been called alt country. Mm-hmm. It's been called singer-songwriter. I don't know. It seems the definitions seem to change as the years go on. But I guess it's just. I guess it's Americana. I guess it's rootsy. It certainly has its roots in American folk music.
I can tell you that and I think that for me, Americana is a relatively new term. But you know, in listening to your music, I hear alt country. I hear country. You know, we grew up with like country rock and southern rock, and
certainly
all
huge
those
influence.
Things. And I have not heard a folk rock song from you.
No, okay, fair enough.
But you know, what's really important on the porch here is I just want you to play a song and start with something that feels good to you.
Okay, this is called All That You Have. You always live in the past, never think about the days to come, and everything moves so fast, like a bullet from a gun. You sleep through it all, while every hour turns to yesterday, and memories seep through your wall, like some broken song you keep trying to play. You need to be here now. You ought to listen what I'm trying to say. You need to be here now, because all that you have is today. Yeah, all that you have is today. Well, I still have dreams that remain unshaken, and I thought you'd come around, but I was only mistaken. You need to be here now. You ought to listen what I'm trying to say. You need to be here now, because all that you have is today. Yes, all that you have is today. Time doesn't wait, but it locks you in a cell. But it's not too late to break this spell. Your house is haunted with a million ghosts from a million years ago, and they're all that you wanted, 'cause you hold them tight and you never let go. You need to be here now. You ought to listen what I'm trying to say. You need to be here now, because all that you have is today. Yes, all that you have is today. You need to be here now. You need to be here now.
You know, one of the things that I love about the songwriters that and performers that I get to see a lot is those that know how to play the range and rise and go big and then come back small. I mean, there's a lot of people that you hear that are just big all the time.
Yeah.
So when you're going wah, and then you come back and go, you know, it's I don't know if it's something that you just figure out and learn how to do, or is a gift that you get, or
I think you figure it out. I think if you start on 12, there's nowhere to go.
Right. right. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yes.
When did you write the song? You know, because we all in our youth we're gonna, you know, be famous musicians.
Sure.
And, you know, figure that out. But when did you write that song that said to you and spoke to you and said, you know, I can do this, and it makes sense, and what it makes sense for me, and if I can get other people to like it, I'm great. You know, that's good. So do you have an idea?
I don't, not to get all cosmic, but I don't really feel like the good ones. I feel more like you kind of tune them in rather than write them. I think if I when my personal experience is, if I try and write a song about a particular subject, it doesn't really happen.
I've never ever done that.
Yeah, but if I'm kind of just semi-conscious, and just kind of strumming around,
yep,
usually things will come in, and it's certainly not my concept, but there is a concept that there's radio stations playing now, and there's, especially with the internet, there's sounds in the airwaves that are moving. We just don't have the station dialed in, so I kind of try and dial it in.
Yeah. Now, do you recall though when you may have sung one of your own songs in public, and then, because I can tell you that I know the first time I sang one of my songs in public, and then said, oh, I kind of dig this. Yeah, I kind of, it connected to people, and I went, oh, okay, so maybe I should try this some more.
Yeah, my first instrument is drums, so I'm a drummer. Really?
Yeah.
All right. And so I had written some songs that I didn't show to anyone, and then there was an open mic for them, and I said, oh, let me try it, and I thought it kind of connected, mm-hmm, so I pursued it more. Although I feel like even if it didn't connect, it's so therapeutic to me that I'd probably write, mm-hmm, as much as if I was on a desert island.
Yeah. But I think I do remember the first time I sang my first song in public, and it connected, and it was scary. It was it was a personal song.
Oh, sure.
It had nothing to do with, things I didn't know about, but it was a personal song, so I went, so, but when you have that connection, it definitely makes you kind of, pushes you along.
It's good, and it's when you're out there playing your stuff, you're out there. Oh, yeah. There's nowhere to hide.
Nope.
Especially with an acoustic guitar and a vocal, there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah. So you have, how many albums, CDs do you have out right now?
I have 6 CDs out. I'm working on another one now.
Yeah.
And
And when do you think that might be released?
I'm hoping to release it around the end of the fall, but it always gets pushed back, or there's always another song. Then you say, oh, I'm going to put that one on there.
Yeah. Stop writing, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to play a song from the new one coming up?
Okay, I will. Hopefully, I won't be. I'll tell you the story behind this song. I was driving through the Northeast, and it was a blizzard, and I pulled into a Texaco station that was a convenience store, as most of them are, and there was a sign in the window that was looked like it was handmade with a Sharpie, and it said everything you need, and then under that was a bumper sticker that said salvation is at hand. So I figured I can go into the store and get a pint of whiskey and a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. And salvation.
And get my soul saved at the same time. And I thought that really is convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is that was the germ of this song, and this is called Walk Right In. Let me get rid of my thumb. All of your life, you thought you understood about love and loss, about evil and good. Yeah, you think you know. You believe you're set. But here's a thing to remember. Try not to forget. You won't find a Texaco along the way to heaven, but that gate to hell is just like a 7-Eleven. All the people you meet, they're on a road to sin, and everybody wants a big gulp, so they walk right in. I saw a preacher on the TV who's gonna save my soul. All I need is a P.O. box and a telephone. Said he'll speak to Jesus, said it'll be all right if I would just take a dollar bill and send it overnight. Well, you won't find a Texaco along the way to heaven. That gate to hell is just like a 7-Eleven. All the people you meet, they're on a road to sin, and everybody wants a big gulp, so they walk right in. Everybody wants everything they can take, and they don't mind causing a scene. Well, honey, there ain't no mistake. They want the beer and the gasoline. They want everything. Yeah, they want it all. Well, there ain't no Texaco along the way to heaven. That gate to hell, man, it's just like a 7-Eleven. All the people you meet, they're on a road to sin, and everybody wants a big gulp, so they walk right in. Everybody wants a big gulp, they're gonna walk right in.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
So, drums was your first.
Drums was my first instrument.
And second was?
Second was piano.
Yeah?
Which I play incorrectly. I taught myself, so I need an electronic piano because I have to kind of capo the piano.
Oh, okay.
I have to play. I only play in the key of F sharp.
Oh, okay.
But it works.
Yeah, and harmonica, when did you pick that up?
I think I've played that before I played guitar.
Because harmonica is an instrument to me that if you figure out how to play it, it sounds awesome. But if you try to play it and can't figure it out, it sounds like a bad accordion.
Right. And hopefully you don't live upstairs from someone who has a hangover.
Right. So I've been marveling over your guitar. So there's a little story behind that, I believe, right?
So it was the first new guitar that I bought, and the top was very shiny and very lacquered, and I was doing my first record. I was doing, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
we're
you call
old
it a
enough to
record,
call it a record,
okay.
yeah.
And it really wasn't speaking the way we wanted it to, and I took it home that night, and I sanded the top down, and it seemed to wake it up a little bit, and then I nicked it right over here.
Yeah.
And I took a little tool and I carved my initials, and then it kind of snowballed from there where you could see over here, that was just like a little chisel, and then I got out a Dremel tool.
Yep.
And I did it, and then as I told you, I realized, which I didn't realize at the time, that you're not supposed to inhale the fumes from gold leaf paint.
Yeah, no.
I got so ill. And
but I can tell you that it's a Guild guitar.
yes, and it's Rhode Island Guild.
And nobody should take a Dremel to a Guild guitar.
No. We all make mistakes.
It definitely, if it woke something up, you can take anything you want to.
Well,
chisel.
it was a plant-based decision, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. It looked good on paper.
Yeah, you don't regret it though.
No, I don't
no,
regret it. No, not for a minute. The guitar still sounds good. It still does what I want it to do. And like I said, there's people that would say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that," and then there's people that say it's very cool. So
yeah. So how often do you sit down and try to write?
I always have instruments around the house. What I find is if I make a conscious effort to write, it doesn't happen.
Right.
But a lot of times things just come, as I'm sure they do with you.
Yeah. Someone
will say something, or someone will turn a certain way, or light a cigarette, and you just set something off.
I can tell you that probably 3/4 of the songs I've written have a line or words or a phrase that someone has shared with me. I might, it kind of goes in the bank.
Sure.
And you put it there, and it just kind of,
and then it comes back around, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the last song that you've written that you feel good about?
It's called All Night Radio.
Yeah. You want to do it?
I'll play it, sure. Guitar and a bottle of wine, a few good songs from a friend of mine. Always feels like the past will subside, and I'm not afraid to say I forgive, but all them ghosts know right where I live, and they always come by and take me for a ride. Every night is so dark, every dream so far, every road is so long, no matter where you are. Every heart is so fragile, everyone is alone, but every new day is a highway goes home. I was driving around I drifted off the road. Well, you run like hell and follow that line to a hollow heart where the sun won't shine, and look for a shadow, look for the light of day. Man, you wander around this world just like a clown who ain't got a circus, and all the while time keeps slipping away. Every night is so dark, every dream so far, every road is so long, no matter where you are. Every heart is so fragile, everyone is alone. Every new day is a highway, goes home. I was driving around to the sound of an all-night radio. I remember flying with the music loud, but I really don't know just when I drifted off the road. Yeah, I remember flying around to the sound of an all-night radio, but I can't tell you when I drifted off the road.
Nice. And the G string.
There you go. It's always the G string, isn't it?
It is. That happens
In
to
all
me.
walks of life,
Absolutely.
it all boils down to the G string.
So, as a songwriter, and I use that term lightly and loosely for me, because I've written for many gazillion years, but it's only been maybe the last 8 or 9 or maybe 10 years where I actually considered myself one, and would even remotely mention my name as a musician. But you get to do this a lot. You get to play a lot. You write a lot.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I have great respect for a songwriter who writes from a place that it creates an image, and I thank you, because I'm stealing stuff from you.
Oh, that's quite a compliment. That's quite a compliment. I
because really
it.
there's the songs that hit you or touch you or pull you in are the ones that maybe you don't you don't have to think about too much.
Right,
and they just kind of roll into
that
you.
goes back to what I said. I feel like if I'm struggling to write it, it's not ready. And in all walks of life, I have a son, and I tell him this: whether it's a song, whether it's the key to open your door, whether it's untying your shoe, if you're struggling, you're not doing it right. Because the way to get out of a straitjacket is not like this.
Right.
It's just to let it come off.
Now, and I can tell you that from the success I've had in music and songwriting, actually some of the songs that are the most accessible and popular amongst those that I've written are the ones that actually just kind of flow out of you. They don't. You're not fighting to create.
Yeah.
They just kind of go, and you may alter them, you may tweak them, you may fix a word or a phrase or a chord or whatever, but they just kind of go.
I agree with that. Yeah, you kind of tune them in, right?
Yeah, they do. So it's kind of crazy, and I really hate the fact that the Porch Time goes by so fast.
I love what you've done with the place. I really do. I appreciate being able to sit here with you.
No, and what I really do love about this show and our porch is I get to hear people in a different way than I could go to your live, your band shows, but this is the songwriter Eddie. This is the sitting on my porch, you know, with your guitar, and you're just kind of singing and talking, and I appreciate that. So.
And it's great. I certainly appreciate being here.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
What I'm going to ask you to do is to play out a song that is good for you, meaningful to you, you feel like doing, and Eddie Seville and eddieseville.com, right?
Yes, please.
And keep an eye out for his new release.
Joshua made it to the promised land, but the Jericho king built a wall all around. So he put 7 trumpets in the high priest's hand, and every stone in the city come tumbling down. Yeah, once in a while he would bend, but he'd never break. He'll be the one that'll walk through the narrow gate. He had an unshaken faith, unshaken faith. Yeah, he had what it takes, unshaken faith. I took a beat-up guitar and went rolling down the highway. 3 chords of religion and a story to tell. I do 110 nights in 110 cities.